Wisconsin turkey season.
Weather's finally nice, no more snow on the ground. Can't wait to hear my first gobble.
We'll see what happens. It should be a good season.
Passion for the Hunt is brought to you by Shields, Crestliner Boats, Steerka, North Dakota Tourism, Federal Premium Ammunition, Matthews Archery, Travel Manitoba, and Primos Hunting.
All right, well, tomorrow's the opener of the second week of Wisconsin's turkey season. I just stopped at Shields and picked up this new Primos 360 blind. I'm really excited to set it up and see how it works. Well, I found a nice spot up in the corner of this cornfield where the stalks were laid down a little bit more. I set up the blind quick and had a game plan for the morning. Went back, shot the bow a couple times, and got ready for an early morning sit. Well, we've had 2 hens pitched down in the field. Pretty nice morning. Birds are definitely talking. They're actually a little tough to see in this stubble. It's all about knee high. They get going down the road, they're tough to see, but there's been a couple gobbles up on the ridge, a couple gobbles across the valley. If the hens are here, I'm confident that the gobblers will show up here eventually. That is a big old tom. Well, it's a great way to start the morning off. Looked like he was just moving off with those hens. I'm sure that's probably the same one I saw here yesterday afternoon before I set up the blind. But there's still a couple more gobbling around. Well, no more turkeys showed up after that tom left the field with his hens. So I decided to go get ready for the next morning and meet up with my dad. Well, we're getting ready to hike up to the epicenter of the property. Yesterday was pretty slow, so we're gonna go up on top of the ridges here and set up the old 360 blind and see what's moving up top. It's a little chilly this morning, so we're gonna get warmed up on the walk in, and a couple of them gobbling already, so we each have a tag. Got a bow, got a shotgun.
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. See what happens this morning.
Hopefully they're moving.
Let's do it.
This year we're hunting the second season in Wisconsin, and this year we're probably about 3 weeks behind. First weekend they actually had snow, and this year you can see there's no green, nothing. I mean, nothing started to pop out yet. Last year when we hunted the same farm, everything was green, all the undergrowth was still green, the May apples were up. So it's almost like hunting a totally different farm this year. We didn't get probably just to the top of the ridge, and we ran into a bunch of hens. We could hear them calling, and then a gobble sounded off. So we kind of quick sat down, and we actually got him on video. I could see him, but I could only see his head.
Got him on camera.
Where is he? Yeah, where my gun's pointed. Oh, I see him now. You tell me when you want me to shoot him. You want him? Not right now because of the trees in the way. Chris could see him on the camera pretty good. He was strutting, but then he kind of went back, and I think he just followed the hens back down. Yeah, we were coming up to get the blind set up, and we ran into another tom. We actually got him on film. Came up, I thought he was going to come closer, so I didn't take the shot, and now he won't gobble anymore, so he must have headed down the ridge, but we get plenty of other turkeys gobbling right now, so I think we'll get the blind set up and see what happens.
Hit them while they're hot.
If you notice on the video, we set the decoys just off the road. That way when the turkeys are walking down the road, they don't notice them until they're right there. And a lot of times once a turkey or tom sees them, they'll come into those decoys.
Just got set up here at the place we call the T. Got the blind up, looks good. Decoys are out. A couple toms gobbling right now. We've got Matthews getting loaded up right now. What are your first thoughts on the blind?
Well, it's kind of different. I mean, you definitely can see all the way through it. See all around you. It's like you're sitting in the open. So, I guess we'll find out if it works or not, hopefully.
Right after we got set up, I don't think it was 15 minutes after we got set up, all of a sudden we had heard this tom gobble. And I called and he gobbled. He called and he gobbled again, and I thought, okay, he's coming. We had a log that we thought was right about 30 yards, but apparently it was more like 35. And he came up to the log, and as soon as he hit the road, he went into full strut. I thought I had the yardage down, I had the pin on him, and when I let go, apparently he was a little further away than what I thought and went right underneath him.
No, it was farther.
It's tough to judge these turkeys. I mean, they look so big, and especially when they come in full strut like that, I could have swore that turkey wasn't 30 yards away, and he must have been closer to 40. But, oh well, that's the way turkey hunting is. I think I'd just seen a turkey down the road. Yep, it's a tom. Just walked across the road and down to the left, kind of strutting. Hopefully he'll make it up our way here. And I called maybe 1 or 2 more times. He gobbled, and all of a sudden he turned and started walking towards us in the woods on the one side of the road, but then he turned and came up on top of the road and just started coming right at us, full strut, gobbling. So we thought, okay, here we go, you know, game on. You talk about nerve-wracking. I mean, this tom's coming right at us, facing us, strutting, you know, and then he'd walk a little bit and he'd strut again and he'd walk a little bit. And when he got on the road and started coming at us, I quit calling. And when they're coming at you like that, they're looking for you. And he'd stop every once in a while and you'll see him kind of look, and then he'll walk down the road and he'll strut again. But as long as they're coming at you like that, you might as well quit calling and just see what happens. And he got to that same log where I'd just missed another one earlier. So I knew the yardage this time. And I'm like, okay, we got this guy in the bank here. And he came up, he walked around the log, and about the time he walked around the log, he must have seen that decoy, and he just went full strut right up to the decoy. And I put the pin on him. I thought, this is great, everything's good. And I let it fly, and I don't know what happened, if I hit the side of the blind, or I didn't see any trees or anything, but that arrow just flew way to the left. And luckily, he just kind of stood there because he didn't realize what had happened. And we happened to have the shotgun with us, so I just grabbed the shotgun and shot him quick.
Turkey down. Turkey down. Turkey down. Turkey killer. That was pretty. Wow.
Well, the blind worked.
The blind definitely worked.
Well, let's go see what's down. He's a nice tom. Oh, a couple different beards on him. Yeah, he's got at least 2 nice spurs on him. Yeah, we were kind of disappointed because I'd already missed one with my bow. Shot a little low, missed him clean, and he walked off. We've been hearing quite a few gobbles around us, and all of a sudden I thought I seen something go across the road a couple 100 yards down. We're sitting right on top of the ridge up here, and sure enough, there was a tom come across the road and walked down the other side, but then he kind of came back up and started walking down the road. There was a hen with him, but he didn't seem to care about the hen. Nice big bird. One down. I think it's time for Chris to get one. I think there's still a lot of turkeys around.
Well, we just got up to the blind this morning. We decided to get up here, hopefully before most of the turkeys are even gobbling, and I think we accomplished that. We didn't kick any out on the way. So we're just gonna set up the decoys and get in the blind, and hopefully it's a party like yesterday. It was pretty crazy up here.
Okay, when you first get set up in the blind, you want to give them a little tree noise. They're gobbling on both sides of this ridge right now, so we just want to let them know that we're up here on top. So what we're going to do is give them a couple soft purrs, a couple clucks. Then we're going to do a fly down. Now we'll see what happens.
After a very quiet morning, we had a tom surprise us about 50 yards away. Should probably just shoot him with a shotgun. I thought about grabbing the Matthews, but he didn't seem to want to commit to the decoys, so I figured I better grab the gun and get ready for a shot. Okay, do you have them? Do you have them? You do. He's behind a tree for me. Okay. Got him. Got him. Woo! Well, that was crazy. So, we're not gonna lie to you, we were taking a nap. And, you know, we said all morning, it's just been quiet. And we just said, well, we just gotta wait it out. And eventually one will come, but it finally warmed up. What you couldn't see is he sat over there on a log just strutting for probably 5 minutes. He was just skirting around him. I mean, we probably could have waited, but you might as well just get him while you can, because it got tough after that first day when we had a few opportunities. So, whew, that was fun.
There again. If we weren't in this blind.
If we weren't in this blind, yeah, it'd be. We wouldn't we wouldn't have got that turkey. So, good old double bull 360. The Andersons are still gonna get one with their bows one of these days. Oh, that was cool. Here he is, the second turkey out of the double bull 360, and this one came in about 10:30. We're both kind of snoozing. It's nap time. It finally warmed up. It was a little bit cooler this morning, and my dad taps me. I'm napping. He says there's a tom coming up basically almost on this other logging road, which is the first turkey we've had on this side of the blind. And we sat there and watched him for probably 15 minutes. He strutted around, got up on this log, and he didn't want to come into the decoys. He was, for whatever reason, really leery. Well, you can tell from his spurs that he's probably a 2-year-old bird, so he's definitely not the dominant tom. Whereas if you look at the bird he shot, I would say that's probably, what, a 3-year-old? I mean, it's more of a dominant bird. It has longer spurs, and he came right into the decoys. And you shot him right in the decoys. This one, he went behind it, probably about a 35-yard shot, federal 3rd degree, laid him right down. But yeah, we definitely made good use out of this blind.
It's just too bad we didn't get a bow shot on this one.
Yeah, that's right.
But he just did not want to come in the decoys and just wouldn't give us a bow shot, so.
No, I think we'll try it again next year.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, we had our chances. It was just, wasn't in the cards on this hunt, but we'll get the Matthews in the woods next year and see if we can finally get one with a bow. So we were curious, this turkey was down here looking up at us. We could see the turkey so well that we wanted to come down and see what the turkey saw. Well, if you can see, it's literally blacked out in there. He wouldn't be able to see through that at all. So our movement, you know, we were in there really being conscientious of what we were doing, when in reality we could have been moving all over the place and he wouldn't have seen us. That's the neat thing about this blind. This new fabric on the outside, we can see out, but they can't see in. And it ended up working out in the end. We got 2 turkeys out of the blind. So great season here in Wisconsin.